welcome to freedomalcohol.com. This is Sam French. I hope this finds you well. You join me here, week 25 of the live videos, and yes, I have the video system working again on my technical side of things. So, yes, thank you for bearing with me last week as it was a live audio, which was a little bit blank for you out there. Join me here, and I'm well, and I hope that you're well and that you are enjoying whatever you're doing at this precise moment right now. Today, I am just preparing myself and want to talk about preparing yourself for some of those situations that you might go into that you might think, oh, this isn't really going to help me, like the situation where you have to go to a party or that might have alcohol present, or like the situation where you might have to go to a wedding, or like the situation where you might have to meet friends in the local pub or bar, or like the situation which I am in, which will be happening tomorrow. I have a meeting, and can you believe this? The meeting is actually in a distillery. Oh, for some of you out there, you'd be going, well, you've died and gone to heaven, Sam. But actually, this, for me, is not the best thing in the world. And whilst it's not a big thing in the scheme of things, I do need to prepare and just think about what's coming up. So, the agenda which I've got for tomorrow it's basically 2/3 or half a day of actual work and agenda associated with what I do with my work life, and the last 2/3 is actually a trip around the distillery to look at this poison that they're producing and celebrating and packaging in beautifully packaged bottles. And I have decided that I will not be going on that tour, and it does throw up a little bit of emotion. Do you know what? This emotion is not around the fact that I'm in a distillery, or the fact that I couldn't walk around that distillery and not be fussed about not having a drink, but it is about the fact that there will be possibly a load of questions around why I'm not drinking. There'll probably be peer pressure insofar as people will be tasting it, and there is already on the email pressure to go out that evening, or as one comedian said, to go out, which basically means to go out and get slaughtered, in terms of after the distillery tour. So I won't be doing that, and I suppose another reason why I won't be doing it as well is just don't want to put myself there, right? It's just not helpful at the moment. The thing which I am a little bit sad about is that I am a sociable person, and actually I would like to be part of that, and actually I would like to go out in the evening, but I just know that in this particular scenario the environment will be focused on the drinking more than the social aspect, as I understand it, and therefore it will get into a position where I can imagine that there will be people who are drunk, and I just don't want to be there. I don't want to be there because it doesn't help, in a nutshell. Well, I am a little bit divided, and you'll have to make these decisions as well, and they will come up, and I've had them before, but this one is a particularly big one because it is a total event focused around alcohol. And I'm sure the distillery will tell us some amazing stories of their heritage of brewing the poison, and of their beautifully packaged bottles, and of why their process is so unique compared to anybody else's in the process of making this beautiful product which they make. And I'm sure they'll be telling us that they add lots of wonderful fruity flavours to make it taste a lot better. Oh no, they won't say that bit, but to make it palatable and to hide some of the alcohol taste, which is, after all, if you've ever tasted neat alcohol, not that I'd recommend that because it could kill you, you will know that it doesn't really have a nice flavour at all. So I will be avoiding that. I have to be totally honest, and not going to that tomorrow. Now, if the event was less focused around drink and it was still in the distillery and everybody wasn't talking about going out afterwards, going out, then I might have considered actually staying, and it might have been a little bit different. But as I say, that expectation has built up. People are staying overnight, and I just don't think that it's a good thing to do, especially at this early stage in my freedom from alcohol, coming up to 6 months. And that leads me on very nicely to talk about the fact that next week, as I mentioned last week as well in the audio life blog, that I will be coming up to 26 weeks, which is 6 months. Way, I've made it to there, and I will be looking forward to celebrating and just reviewing the last few weeks. I have done a brilliant job, and I'm very proud of myself, and I need to think of something to do to celebrate, and I hope if you get to that point, you'll be celebrating as well. And as I've said before, this celebration is less about, because I don't think it's helpful to constantly think about time as the measure of success, but I do think that we need to take time out to recognise what we have achieved in something that's very tricky. So I'll be doing that next week, and perhaps writing down some of the things which I've been able to achieve in that time, there are a lot of really positive things. So we'll be celebrating that next week and reviewing the last 6 months, and I have been thinking about how I can change things going forward, because it is going to be important to keep this momentum going on a weekly basis and hopefully serve you in some way. So I just want to summarise my points from today just around the what to do if you're going into an event and what I would recommend that you do. So number one is make sure that you do take some time out and think about what's coming up in the event. Number two, don't just avoid the event because it has alcohol related to it. Some events like weddings and pubs or whatever, it might be absolutely appropriate to go to, and if that event is more about being sociable than drinking, then by all means go. But if it's the other way around, I'd recommend that you don't go. Point number three, be prepared and think about what you might need to do if you need to get out of that situation. So one wonderful thing about being free from alcohol is that you will probably drive and you will have your car outside. So if it gets into the evening, for example, and things are getting a bit rowdy and you feel it's time to go, well then go. And point number four, do not feel sorry for this. Do not apologise for your alcohol freedom. And point number 5 or 6, lost the points, you don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to make reasons why, and that's I guess another reason why I'm not going to this meeting. You don't have to justify your alcohol freedom by lying or saying that the reason that you are not drinking is because you're on antibiotics, or the reason you're not drinking is because I don't know, you're having a month off or whatever. I'm just really uncomfortable doing that, so I'm not going to do that at all. And it's better to say nothing than to justify yourself, in my opinion. So I hope those points work, and above all else, please don't just rumble into these situations without thinking about them, because that is the situation that you are most likely to experience the feelings of wanting a drink. And just a final point, on the news this morning in the UK, they had a picture of the summer solstice, and on there they were at Stonehenge, which is a famous site which you can look up online. And this year the local police constabulary had banned alcohol from the event, and lo and behold, surprise surprise, on the news, which is very positive, they were able to report how fantastically well it went without any disruption, a lot of happiness, a lot of friendliness, because people weren't drinking. There you go, another reason not to drink, and another reason for people to have a great sociable solstice event at Stonehenge, and I'm sure you can find this news online. Thank you for listening to freedomalcohol.com. I hope this has served you in some way, and I look forward